Hello, and welcome to the Fanfiction Book Club podcast, a weekly podcast that explores the good, the bad, and the cringy of fanfiction. Hosted by me, SG, and my lovely co-host, Poppy.
Hi.
Ollie.
Hey.
And Tstan.
Hello.
Every month, we scour the internet to bring you 4 different fanfic reads, and our theme this month is RPF football. Check out our website at fanfictionbookclub.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at fanfictionados for the full lineup of stories for the month and to connect with us on the web. So guys.
Yo.
We got a story this week.
We did.
It's my pick. It's a real cute one. I'm a little partial. But
we all are, aren't we?
Our pick this week has a furreal friend in it. It is called The Tyranny of Cats by Guede on Archive of Our Own. This work was written on December 31st, 2020. So right before 2021 started. It is just over 13,000 words, and this story is rated T for teen. The fandom is, of course, men's football RPF. The relationship is Paolo Maldini and Alessandro Nesta, and then Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Helena Sager? I'm not sure how you say it. Seeger or Sager for Helena. And so additional tags for this story are alternate universe cats, getting together cats, pet adoption, cracked treated seriously, first meetings, implied reference to abuse, and dating. And the summary states Alessandro Nesta gets a cat named Zlatan. And then the notes are that this was originally written and posted to LiveJournal in 2009 as a gift for a LiveJournal user named AppleNat. And is LiveJournal still relevant? Do people still go on LiveJournal?
It still exists.
It does exist?
Remember, there was a time when some authors got very happy over their works being put into fan fiction.
Oh, right.
So LiveJournal kind of suffered a lot for that. Although I did miss that note the first time I read this, so I am not surprised.
But so the story that we're reading today is about a famous soccer player who gets a cat, and the cat is also a famous soccer player. But before we get into the story, since this is a pet fic, do you guys read much pet fic content when it comes to fan fiction? Or have you encountered that at all?
I haven't encountered it at all. I didn't realize this was a genre. I thought that this was just a cute little, unique thing. I didn't know that this was, a thing that people did.
It's usually if there's an alternate universe fantasy type story, then there will be certain characters that might be animal creatures that the main character encounters and interacts with and builds relationships with that isn't necessarily romantic. It's just they're a character they encounter along the way, and instead of being a real person, they might be a rabbit or something. If you've read Alice in Wonderland kind of spin-offs in another series. I don't know if you've ever read any of those, but they'll kind of take different characters and make them the different creatures.
Okay.
And stuff in.
Yeah, and I've noticed sometimes with fanfic, especially, I don't know, maybe it's just the stuff I read, inanimate objects, if, I say inanimate, if a character has a magical sword,
then that sword can be
is
a
a
character
cat.
Or something.
Yeah, in modern AU or something, the sword is now a pet.
Oh,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
Okay, I was like, what do you mean the sword is a pet? Okay, I got
but that only really works in things where
medieval or fantasy brought
there's
to
an
the modern
actual
age.
bond with the weapon. It's not just
yeah.
I have a knife, it's now a cat.
It has to be like it's Soul Eater-esque levels of commitment to your weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Soul Eater.
Only on the vaguest sense, but you're definitely right on the comparison, yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, it's usually not other people. This is the first one I've seen where it's definitely another person.
The first fic of this kind, and they're not very common in this context of a character literally being an animal and not anything else. Usually they're like some sort of shifting type thing.
Or like there's some magic
yeah, there's like some magic shenanigan whatevers, and like the pet gains sentience or whatnot so they can communicate. But like my first foray into this world was, and I got this one off of Twitter. Somebody shared on Twitter, they're like, OMG, this is the cutest BTS fanfic ever.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what? And apparently it was one of the BTS guys. He had an apartment and he loved animals, and like all of the other members were just animals that he had. And like all the chapters were just like origin stories of how their relationships developed. And it was just like a cute animal movie in a book. There wasn't any like weird stuff with it. It was odd that they repurposed all of the members of BTS as animals for this guy.
Except for that one dude.
Except for the one dude. I think it was, for anyone who knows BTS, Jin was the real person, and then everybody else was an animal.
That's
like Jungkook was a bunny. Aww. I think Jimin was a cat. Yoongi was also a cat. That like Yoongi's like a big, everybody's like, he's a cat in human skin. And Taeyang was a tiger. And I think
how does he have a tiger?
was a squirrel. Well, Taeyang's like, I guess his favorite animal is a tiger. I don't know too much about him. Like, I'm more into the music than their personal lives, but I know that Tae likes tigers. Like, everyone's animal kind of fits what people... The squirrel thing for Hosok was, like, really random. And I don't remember what RM was. I think he was some sort of other cat. But it was a really cute story. And so when I saw that this story...
Poppy, are you understanding any of this?
No.
Yeah, we're so lost.
Me included. I'm just like, yeah.
Who's a tiger? My concern is how they got the tiger, how this dude got a tiger.
Because he was, I mean, I don't want to get into the whole plot of this fic, but the circus, if I remember the story correctly, the circus got a hold of an illegal miniature tiger. And Jin... Yes! Like, he's not supposed to get bigger than he is. So the circus got a hold of an illegal miniature tiger. And then Jin went to the circus and saw this tiger and felt really bad for it. So he, like, helped it escape.
Aww.
Oh my god.
Like, it was just, like, really cute stories like that.
I'm just picturing a tiger with, like, corgi legs.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was kind of hard for me to like figure out how big that tiger was, because they would like all pile on his bed and sleep with him. Like they were like a very close-knit animal family. It was cute.
Aww,
it was cute.
I envy that.
It was probably one of the most wholesome fics I've read in a while. But that was the cute one that I found. And I've seen like a couple since, but it's not very common. But I know the workings of football. I follow certain teams, but I don't go out of my way to watch games or anything. So finding a fic that kind of spoke to me with a kitty cat in it was great. And so that's how I found this one. And I guess we can just like get into a summary. The story starts out with Alessandro Nesta, who is a football player, and at this time, he's playing for the AC Milan football club, so he's playing for an Italian team. And he's kind of, like, really focused on work and just being the best defender that he can. And his family gives him a really hard time about how he's such a loner and he's going to die alone. And so to prove his family, like, I'm not going to die alone, I'm going to get a cat, which is like the first thing someone who's going to die alone does. Which
Oh my god.
It's the truth, though. Crazy cat lady. He's going to become a crazy cat man. An Italian crazy cat man.
I can confirm as someone who's probably going to die alone.
Yeah, as fellow alone die. Well, we'll die alone together.
Yay.
The point here, people, is we all have cats.
Yeah, we all have cats.
Every single one of us.
Every single one of us has a single cat. A quirky single cat.
Oh, God.
And so...
that person.
We're all that person. So to pursue this goal of getting a cat so that he can tell his family, I do know how to have a successful relationship, he goes to a shelter, and the shelter worker is showing him a bunch of cats, and Alessandro is not impressed by any of them. And then they get to this one cage that has this giant black cat just in the back corner of the cage. And it kind of like hisses at them. And then the shelter worker's like, well, I don't know if you want to be involved with this cat. This one was adopted out multiple times and never clicked with any of the families that adopted him. And they said he was too active. And then Alessandro was just kind of like getting annoyed with the whole having to look at different cats in the shelter thing. And he liked that this cat had kind of an attitude and seemed very independent and not needy. And Alessandro was also getting annoyed by the shelter worker, like thinking, how do you know what kind of cat I want? You don't know me. So he goes, he's like, I'll take the cat. And then the guy's like, are you sure? And then Alessandro's like, yeah, I'm going to take him. And he's like, okay. So he gets put in a little box, and Alessandro takes the cat into his home. And I'm not going to get in too deep into it, but like for the next bit of the story, it's just like him and the cat like learning how to coexist, how like a new owner pet relationship develops. And so part of the story just kind of like goes into Alessandro and things he's doing to try to be a good cat dad. And one thing I totally forgot to mention is that the cat in the story, I keep saying the cat's name is Tstan, who is also a football player, but in this story, he's just a cat who was also playing for the AC Milan football club. I'm not sure what their relationship is to each other, but Alessandro's human, Zlatan's a cat, and he stays a cat. He never plays football at any point in this fic. The cat, it's not like Air Buddies. It's the cat does not play any sports.
The cat is a cat, and that's that.
The cat is a cat, and that's that. Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if the player would be insulted.
I don't know. I'd be
That he's been
fine.
turned into a cat.
I would be fine if someone
cat.
like wrote fan fiction book club fanfic and I was a cat. I would be cool with that.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, I also wouldn't mind, but like, it's just interesting. Like, I wonder if somewhere in his life he's just like, what if anyone's turned me into a cat?
So then, so the story, like, the Zlatan the cat and Alessandro are getting to know each other, and they're kind of developing a routine, but Tstan, he is very active, and Alessandro is trying to figure out, like, how can I give this cat the activity that they need? Because he is literally the spirit of a football player in a kitty cat's body. He takes the cat to the vet, and then the vet says, well, you know, you can walk a cat. And then Alessandro's like, okay, I guess I can try. So he gets some pamphlets from the vet, and when he gets home, he tries to hide the pamphlets from the cat, like the cat can read, because he's really nervous about the cat figuring out his plan. So he secretly buys a collar and a leash, and he has this like really elaborate plan to try and get Zlatan for his first walk. And it goes horribly, but he does end up getting the leash around the cat, and they go out for their first walk, and then somehow they end up in the top of a tree. And Alessandro's scared for his life, Zlatan doesn't really care, and at one point when Alessandro is trying to grab him out of the tree, Zlatan jumps down, and Alessandro's like, wait, I can't get down, which is weird because he could get up in the tree. Like, as a human, if you have a path of entry up the tree, shouldn't you have a path of entry back down? Or path of exit back down?
Honestly,
theoretically.
If you've climbed far enough the tree where jumping out would cause serious harm to you, you've gone too far already.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if there's enough tree limbs, is he literally just, like, Mulaning the tree?
I was thinking that might be it.
He's just literally shimmying up the tree with no branches. I wasn't too sure how that happened, but, so Alessandro's stuck in a tree. He thinks Zlatan ditched him, but Zlatan went around the corner and found a guy and led the guy back to Alessandro in the tree. And then the guy, he's like, hey, is this your cat? And then Alessandro's like, yeah, that's my cat. And then the guy's like, hey, you're up in that tree. And Alessandro's like, yes, I am in a tree. And he goes, do you need help? And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. So this guy, whose name is Paolo Maldini, who is also a player for the AC Milan football club, or was a player for the AC Milan football club, because this is like back in the mid-2000s. He gets him a ladder and helps Alessandro down out of the tree. And then Alessandro's like, ooh, he's actually kind of cute. So Paolo invites them back to his shop, and it turns out that Paolo also has a cat, and Paolo and Alessandro just like bond about their cats, and then Alessandro and Zlatan go home, and then as the weeks go on, Zlatan is bullying Alessandro every day to take him for a walk to Paolo's shop so that he can get some free milk and get a glimpse of a pretty kitty lady who's Paolo's pet. And then because this is like kind of a romance story as well, there's like a relationship kind of developing between Paolo and Alessandro. They're kind of like growing a little closer. Alessandro has a crush on him, but he's not sure that he wants to do anything about it. And then while most of the story is going on, Alessandro is on break from any playing or tournaments or anything for a month. So he's kind of been spending all of his days with Zlatan, and then now he has to go back to work and go back to training and prep for matches and whatnot. So his time with his cat has been limited, but Zlatan's like insisting that we still need to go for walks. So instead of just going for walks whenever in the day, they've been going for walks to Paolo's shop like early in the morning. And on this one visit, Zlatan, the cat, spills milk on Paolo's shirt, and Alessandro offers to buy him a new one. And then Paolo goes in for the flirty kill and goes, how about instead of buying me a shirt, you make me dinner? And then Alessandro's kind of like caught off guard, but he's like, yeah, let's do that. Then they agree to do their dinner and they start kind of dating. And then we get to the epilogue where Kitty Zlatan is having kittens with Paolo's cat. And then Paolo and Alessandro are like kind of a strong couple and they're going to move in together. And that's where the story ends. So we got boy love or guy love, we got cat love, and we have baby kittens at the end. And that's the story. So what'd y'all think?
It was really cute. Like,
it was cute.
Like, I mean, I have a cat. Like, we've established this. But, like, it was so cute. Like, it was also kind of annoying at times because Alessandro was, like, just like the way that he was talking to the cat, like he just had no clue what cats were like.
Yes.
It's just like, just let it do its thing. Like, calm down, you know? But I thought, have you
What?
have you guys heard of the video game Kitty Love?
No.
Uh-oh.
It is a dating simulator.
What?
God.
There are so many weird dating simulators out there. What is the plot of this dating sim?
It's about this girl who works at a flower shop, and she has several prospects of men to choose from to date, you know.
Yeah.
Regular dating sim stuff. And then she's in a park, and then this like mystical cat comes along, and she's like, gosh, I just wish that I was a cat. And then he turns her into a cat. And it's like true love's kiss will turn you back into a human or whatever. And so like by day she's a human, by night she's a cat. So I'm over here thinking, oh, this is a human trapped in a cat's body.
That's what I was thinking too at first. Because it's like, why would they just have him in there as literally a cat? Like, that's the most random thing
and he
ever.
sounded so intelligent. Like,
He was
like
just a smart cat.
The cat knew what Alessandro was saying, and Alessandro's over here trying to hide paperwork from the cat. It's like,
I know, right? Trying to hide his cat walking brochures.
yeah, it's like the cat can't read. Like, it's smart, but it's not that smart. Like,
Yeah,
like,
that was...
He was very
That was the one
intimidated by
section.
that cat.
I'm like, so I thought that the cat was a human stuck in a cat, and then like somehow the cat was going to turn back into a human, and that's where the love story was going to happen. But nope, it was just a cat.
I
We're like,
thought that was the direction too.
And then there was a completely separate guy.
Yeah, it's a different dude. Which was fine. Like, I liked their relationship. There was cute and flirty and stuff, and yeah, I was a little frustrated by how Alessandro was like talking to the cat like it was a human, which I guess I do.
I know that because I came into the cat game like way later than you guys. Like, I just developed a relationship with a cat a year and a half ago. So I can kind of sympathize with Alessandro, because with Gracie, like, I talk to her like I would a person, and I have conversations with her, and I'm like dumbfounded by some of the things she does, and I'm like learning cat culture. I'm not quite there yet, but I kind of get where he's coming from, like as a new cat owner later in life.
Yeah, just the way it was written, the way the cat was responding to him was very much like, is this a person?
Yeah.
Are you a person? Also, that game, Poppy, is $25.
Did you play it, Poppy, or did you just see it?
I did not play it. I watched the Game Grumps play it.
Oh, okay.
But that game has terrible localization. Like, there's like broken English all over the place. Like, terrible translations, I guess. It's just, but it's terrible in a hilarious way.
The plot of that dating sim sounds similar to this anime movie that came out on Netflix a bit ago. I think it was called like A Whisker Away, where this girl, like, did you guys see it?
I have seen that one.
Where she like
it's way
has
better.
a
I
mask
promise you it's better.
and turns into, she gets like a mask from this cat god thing, cat spirit, and the mask like allows her to turn into a cat, so she can do it whenever she wants. But there's this guy that she likes, and so she spends time with him as a cat, and then time with him as a person, and then it devolves into craziness. It's very cute, but it's definitely like a kid's movie, but it's still very cute.
I'm honestly offended that Kitty Love costs $25 because it
$25.
does not deserve.
Maybe you can catch it on a Steam sale.
That game should be like $5.
But yeah, so I want to go back to the cats. This fic was definitely written as, this cat is a person. This cat understands everything you're saying.
Yeah.
My cat gets scared of her own butt. So, like,
but there is a range with cats.
Yeah, but not quite to the point where they're like having a complete conversation with you.
I don't know. Sometimes me and Goose get into conversations.
Honey, I think that's you.
No, she'll literally meow in response to me about things. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, meow. And I'm like, no. She's like, meow.
See, I'm like that with my cat, but I know he's just hungry, and he's just responding in, I'm hungry, feed me, so I'll entertain you.
Yeah, well,
no, she's like, I want it now.
Well, we can communicate on basic levels like that with our cats. These guys were it was like, hey, could you get off the book?
Telepathy?
It was my grandfather's, so I really need you to respect my property. And the cat was like, whatever, and then just kept sitting on the book. It's like, they're having, like, in-depth, like, complex conversations, and it's like, what?
Or Alessandro thinks they're having in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
That's just...
But it makes it a little more palatable as a conversation if the cat is responding in some way. Instead of just ignoring him the whole time like a cat probably usually would do.
Fair.
Yeah.
Another
it has
thing
its
to add
purposes.
I know the ending was very cute. Alright, I'll give it that. It was cute. Spay and neuter your pets.
Oh yeah, definitely spay and neuter your pets. This is Italy though. I don't know what they do in Italy.
I don't either.
But yeah, spay and neuter your pets.
I wonder what it was mixed with. That cat sounded big and crazy.
Maybe it was mixed with a miniature tiger. But
I thought it was funny that the first line of this story was the description of the cat saying the cat was brownish.
And it had ears.
It had ears.
Like a cat should. It should have ears.
I do remember reading that and being like, wow, thanks.
Yeah. Great description.
It was looking at
a brown cat.
It was looking at Alessandro so it wasn't dead. Those are the first 3 sentences.
I appreciated that. So this was like a crack fix story that the author just took a little seriously. So I think they were going for ironic a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
With how it was written.
I totally read that additional tag as like crack, like the drug.
Well, that's why they call it like, crack fic, because it's just like ridiculous craziness.
But I was thinking like literal crack. I'm like, is this something like I didn't pick up on in the story? Like,
no, I mean those first 3 lines are total crack fic stuff.
No, nothing in the story actually happens. Like Alessandro's just super high.
High AF.
I mean, it would make sense.
Yes, it would. Talking to cats.
To be fair to you, Ollie, that was my initial look at the tags was, is there drug use in this? No, they would have tagged it. Let's read it again. Okay, yeah. Although, I mean, if you don't read a lot of crack fic, how would you know?
Yeah, I enjoy a good crack story, but it has to be funny and humorous. It can't be them trying to be funny and failing.
I can't stand them.
Pretty well.
You can't stand them because Poppy's first pick.
I was about
with the smelly shoes. That was a total crack fic.
Yes.
But I think the author on that one was taking themselves too seriously.
On this one or on
Poppy's first pick?
On the Cinderella one.
I thought they weren't taking themselves seriously. It was just crazy. It just got weirder and weirder. Remember the boss lady took her clothes off?
Oh, God.
And she was trying to talk with her new recruit, and I'm like, whoa.
Everyone's gay. Everyone has a foot fetish.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested, listen to our first episode where we read a Cinderella fanfic about smelly feet in a trailer park.
Yeah, listen to how we've grown.
Just think how we've grown. We've gone from that to cute football player / cat friendships. It gets more wholesome. And so let's move on to the plot.
What plot?
There wasn't much of one. It was really just developing the relationship between Alessandro and his cat. That's really the plot. And I kind of felt like the romance didn't need to be in it. I feel like it could have just been about Alessandro and his cat.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing with Paulo was kind of, it didn't need to be there.
I agree, and I think especially the female cat, I don't know, was an actual person.
I think she was an actual person. I didn't look her up because I was scared.
I think that was very shoehorned in. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, I think the cat romance was unnecessary too. It was cute, but not needed.
Oh, it's actually Zlatan's girlfriend.
Oh, that's his actual girlfriend?
It's his actual girlfriend.
Ooh,
and the mother of his children.
Canon.
She's that's Swedish model.
This is like the best case scenario of two characters becoming cats and having cat babies together.
All right, now it's kind of cute because it's his actual partner and they actually have kids together. And
now I'm down.
So this is cat canon.
In the story itself, without knowing who these people are, it did feel very like shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Like there was no point to putting this in.
Because I really love, and I know we can all relate to developing a relationship with your cat. And I feel like the story could have just focused on that, but I know that a lot of fanfic is very ship-oriented.
Yeah.
And so...
Tstan is 6'5". That is a ginormous...
He's a big dude.
Player.
He's a big dude.
The cat was cute.
Giant.
But why him? Why wasn't Tstan the player and Alessandro the cat?
Maybe he just wanted a really big... The author just wanted a really big cat.
Yeah. And I mean, and all these characters played for the same team at one point. I believe they overlapped.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Oh boy.
Also, I just had the thought of like, wow, this is amazing that this is the subject we picked for June, Pride Month.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
true.
We haven't had a straight relationship, yeah. But you know we have a story coming up.
Yeah, sad. My story is the straight one.
Yeah, Poppy can't rep the crowd.
Come on.
How did that happen?
Yeah, so I think that covers plot or lack thereof or modifications that could be made to it. What do you guys think of the characters and how they were developed?
I think something we keep mentioning for these is these are basically blank slates for us.
Yeah.
We don't know who these people are, professionally or personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not like a fan fiction about a previously written story where these characters are fleshed out, they're explained.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a dude and a cat.
It was a dude and a cat.
It was a dude and a cat.
But I was fine with that.
Yeah,
surprisingly for this one in a way that I wasn't for the first fic. And I don't know if it's just because it was with a cat versus another person or what.
I think maybe that's the one benefit of what we were complaining about before, or at least for me, was him talking to the cat. I think that helped bounce it off. You got a little bit more of the character's personality, the guy's personality, because it wasn't just two people talking to each other back and forth.
It was him creating the meaning in what the cat was doing.
Yeah, I think that helped a lot. But yeah, the first fic of this month was very dry. So I think it did help to have the bounce back of, this is how I'm interpreting this cat being a jerk.
Did you think that the cat behavior was believable, independent of Alessandro's interpretations of what he might be saying when he does things?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Ollie.
Anyone has ever met or seen like a Bengal, like those things are wild. Even though they're technically domesticated cats, they are wild creatures at heart. And I just have a brown tabby, and he's pretty much this wild cat, like spot on. I'm like, I relate to you, Alessandro. I get you.
Yeah, and obviously you can't it's just like with people. You can't stick an immediate personality on any animal.
Yeah.
That's just, unless it's like a fish.
Yeah.
I don't think fish have the brain folds required to develop an actual personality. Don't quote me on that.
Fish, don't come after us. That was all Tstan. That is not a statement of the Fanfiction Book Club podcast.
Yeah, all of our fish listeners, don't be offended, please.
I do not keep fish for a reason.
Fan base.
That was just a generalized example. Don't come after me, y'all. Come on.
Shape of Water.
Somebody gonna get canceled.
Oh, come on. that beautiful, beautiful creature was not a goldfish.
Yeah, alright, sure.
I mean, but I bet he has some goldfish friends that you offended.
Okay, but, continue with what I was saying. Different personalities. So obviously, this will be a cat. This fic could describe a cat super well. Or you could meet a cat who wants nothing but to sit on your lap and just screams all day, like mine. So there's such a vast difference that
yeah,
they're gonna get close enough to a cat to make it work.
Yeah, but the cat definitely has a personality, which I appreciate. Keeps the story interesting.
Yeah, I like that we may not know much about football, but we sure know a lot about cats.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That's saving grace.
That's why I picked this fic, because I'm like,
perfect.
The only stuff that I was interested in reading was like 40,000 words, and I'm like, I can't like make a case for this. And then I found this one, and I'm like, yeah, we can talk about some cats and football. I think it would have been great if he like took his cat to a match. Like if it was just Alessandro and Tstan, and like the epilogue is that he took his cat to a match with him.
And then what happens is the cat runs into a vent because it's scared and gets stuck there, because that's what would happen.
The cat wants to play with the ball.
I thought it would be the cat would play with the ball. Just something like cheesy cute like that between a guy and his cat. Happy ending. That would have been perfect. I didn't need the romance
instead of Tstan becoming a father.
Like well, I think some time had gone by the time the epilogue happened, because you don't just move in with someone after a couple months.
Yeah.
That seems real soon. Yeah, maybe a year or two.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the fic, he was 5 months old.
Yeah, he's a baby. Yeah. So that's characters. What else do we talk about? Oh, what do you guys think of the writing?
I feel I think that the author is a native Italian speaker. There were like grammatical things that would happen, and I was like, but like in a way that I'm like, I don't think that the person is a native English speaker. And I only say Italian because the people are Italian. They live in Italy. Because
they're repping an Italian team.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like
makes sense.
Like yeah, like that's what I feel. It was it was fine. They did a good job. There was some just like weird phrasing that I was like,
yeah, I agree. And I felt like there were weird transitions. Like the transition from him getting the collar on his cat to them being in a tree. There was just like a weird jump there. And I was like rereading through and I'm like, what am I missing here?
Yeah, how'd they get in the tree?
How did they get in the tree? How did this happen? How long have they been in the tree? And there were a couple other like transitions like that where I'm just not quite sure like how we got from this point to that point in their writing, that they could have threaded those scenes together a bit better for it to make sense instead of it just being completely jarring.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, question I had.
Yeah.
In the tags it said implied referenced abuse. Was that referring to the cat or?
That was referring to the cat. There is a scene where Tstan is on top of the bookcase And then Alessandro is mad at him, so he picks up this book, but we know that his intention is to just read the book, and the cat was thinking that he was going to throw the book at him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like, where did that come in from?
And there was like another instance where Alessandro, like, the cat was like trying to wake him up, and so Alessandro like grabbed him, and then the cat tensed up because he probably had a negative response. But I feel like Alessandro handled those kind of possibly traumatic moments well. He didn't try and instigate or add fuel to the fire on things. Yeah. He was very good at like de-escalating with his cat. And then the last thing to go over is how well do they stick to the fandom?
Well, Zlatan has his girlfriend, so there's that.
Yeah, Zlatan and Helena have little kittens together.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Which is super cute. But other than that, they share names. Alessandro was a player for AC Milan at the time. And he was an active soccer player / football player / however you want to refer to it player. So that's accurate. I will say that Zlatan and Helena are not cats in real life.
Shocking.
So that's
Truly
kind
shocking.
of where the canon diverges. But it would be great if there was just a giant cat on the football team. Just knocking people out. Got an extra 2 legs to kick a ball around. The lower center of gravity. Yeah. So, are there any other, like, thoughts or comments or anything that you have about this story? Would you read another pet fic after having an introduction to this?
Yes. It's so cute. Wholesome.
I've definitely seen these before. It's cute.
Yeah. Okay. So usually we would go on and read the comments, but this fic doesn't have any comments on it. It stayed very much under the radar. The story is, it was written right before 2021. I think it was December 31st, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So the story's about like 6 months old-ish.
Still has time.
So there's still time, but no one's left a comment. So if you enjoyed listening to us talk about this story, you go off and read the story on your own. Drop a kudos and a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do anything.
Yeah, let's
please
be respectful to
the authors.
Especially since, very brave to put up a story from 2009.
Yeah, I wonder what inspired them to want to do that.
And I hope that they have improved and loved writing for the last 11 years.
So guys, out of 5 soccer and or footballs, what rating would you give this?
I give it a 3. Like right in the middle. It was cute. But I don't know. Yeah, I thought like the romance was a little unnecessary. And I just want to hear about man and his cat. I did like the romance, but I did like the romance, but it was
the cat's better though.
I just like cat.
Yeah, cats need more love in fanfics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would also give this 3 footballs. I wish the direction went into the supernatural, where the cat was actually a person, and then he fell in love with that person, because how cute was
Ollie
that?
likes that were romance.
Oh, don't get me started. But
I may have some recommendations for you.
Oh, give me the recommendations. Give me them all.
Kitty love.
Hashtag kitty love.
But yeah, I love like wholesome, anything with cute animals. Like that is my thing. But just with the direction it went, and I didn't think Paolo's romance with Alessandra was necessary. And having Zlatan become a father was not necessary. But other than that, it was a good read. I enjoyed it.
Cool. I think that I'm like teetering between a 2.5 and a 3, because the cats for me make it a 3, but the writing kind of dropped it down a little bit for me with like the weird transitions. So I think I'm going to give it a 2.5 because middle of the road. I think it was good, but I think there is room for improvement by just kind of like streamlining the relationships in the story, making it mainly about Alessandro and Zlatan, or Zlatan, however you say it. I am so sorry, sir, that I'm messing your name up.
I don't think it's Zlatan.
Like Latin?
I kept thinking of Zoltar.
Zoltar.
Oh my god, Poppy, me too.
Oh geez. So yeah, I think there's room to really streamline this story and make it the best version of itself, but I think it's like just a good middle of the road story, and kudos for the cat relationships that did not get sexual. No werecat men. It was just a man and his cat. And sometimes that's all it needs to be. No extras.
I will say, SG, I am genuinely shocked because you gushed over this thing for days.
Oh no, like I really like it, but just objectively, the thing that pushes it is cats. You know,
fair.
I think if the cat wasn't there, then it might. That's what. Maybe I should just give it a 3.
No, don't change it now.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think a 2.5 is fair. Just like compared to the way that I judged all the other stories this month, I can't just like be super
true.
biased. I have to like use the same criteria.
We can change thoughts maybe like at the very end or something.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I will also give it a. It feels weird because SG said 2.5, but I'm gonna give it a 3 and agree with the rest of my cohorts here.
Yeah.
I really liked. I feel like they were really setting it up for this to be a magical cat that is a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was expecting, and I don't know if it's because I got my hopes up or not. I'm not sure. Depends on how it would have gone, right? You don't want to get too much into that. But it was decently written for 2009.
Yeah.
Right. I know how 2009 LiveJournal was. My standards are very low. So this was really well done.
Thank you for listening to the Fanfiction Book Club. Our pick this week was The Tyranny of Cats by Guede. You can find this story and more of the author's works on Archive of Our Own. Theme song is Funkorama by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of Kevin's music on incompetech.filmmusic.io/artist/Kevin-MacLeod. The works discussed on the Fanfiction Book Club are not our own. All characters mentioned belong to their original authors. Until next week, bye!
Bye!
Bye!